There is beauty all around when there's love at home, and the softly, swiftly glide when there's love at home. There's such beauty in the garden. And now for some purple delicacy. This is the initial color. It turns to this color. Now this is mature. And when it's fully ripe, it's going to take a deep purple maroon type of color. And this thing here has been giving us lots and lots of fruit. This is called Tamarillo tree tomato. It's like it takes the shape of a tomato and it grows on a tree, which is the derivative for tree tomato, and it's very sweet and it's also cute. Lots of fruits on this tree. This is like the third year, going to third year. I planted this orchard around the same time, like 3 years ago. It was an aggressive acquisition of seeds, and these ones made it, and now we are starting to enjoy. It's our time to enjoy, and this thing is also continuous. It gives us lots and lots of fruits at different stages. Like right now we have these ones that are kind of ripe and ready to like mange, and then we have these ones that are on their way, and then now we have flowers on the same branch and on the same tree. See, beautiful flowers right there, new ones forming. And I never stress about anything with these trees. They're almost self-regulated. Of course, they benefit from manure. When I give the rest of the trees manure, I also remember them, but that's about all that I do around here. And the thing thrives on its own. That's my ideal kind of farming. If I can find more perennials that do not need me full time to babysit them, I'll be a happy farmer. And for this, of course, I planted this for home consumption. We're gonna harvest some today. But the idea was we have different kinds of fruits in the orchard, so that if anytime you walk into the space, you are able to go away with whichever you fancy, because they grow at different stages as well. So there should be, there's new growth over there. There should be a fruit at any point in the farm that's ready to eat. In the future, that's the big picture. For home consumption, I had planted like 5 of these. 2 survived, 3 did not, because they were really tiny. I acquired most of these from Nairobi, a nursery in Nairobi. The lady is now passed, so I don't know if the Nini is still working the orchard. She was called Karen from Membley. And then some of them didn't make it because they were really tiny, but this one made it, and I feel like there are different varieties with the other one that made it, because this one thrives better. So what I want to do is I want to propagate this, and hopefully I'll have the same variety, because I know with pollination it's possible that the seeds might not give me the exact variety I'm looking for, but I'm willing to start from seed now that I have samples. So I'm going to look for the one that's looking really good, and then I'll collect the seeds, dry them, and propagate them. I would learn to have more of these in the farm. Even the color itself is really encouraging, and the growth has been amazing. So I'm choosing this one. So sweet. This is how they look like. So for all these other fruit trees, they're fully organic and really sweet and juicy. Look at that. Now I know all these are medicinal in a way. They have medical benefits, but this one is related even by its color to like adding blood, like building blood cells. So for people with anemia, this is a good thing to have in your farm. So I'm going to propagate it from seed. So help me God. So now I've separated the seeds and put them on this paper towel that absorbs the extra water, and I'm going to dry them under the direct sunlight until they're crispy dry, and then I'll plant them. This is just a precautionary measure because even in nature, when these seeds are in contact with the soil, they can somehow still just germinate. But because I want them not to rot but germinate, I'll make sure the moisture content is as low as possible before I propagate them. So this is a few days later. It's been drying in the sun for like 48 hours of sun, and this is what it looks like now. And right now I'm behind the house. This is where I start my nursery beds from. This right here is cauliflower, and we're about to have lots of them growing around here, almost ready for transplanting. It's been raining a lot, so I'll move them to the sun a little bit so they don't end up tiny and long. They harden up a little bit before transplanting, but they're doing really good, and there's going to be a lot of it. We even have more here that are more swindly, so I'll move them to the sun so that they like harden before they go to the farm. This one is ready. These are cherry tomatoes. We have like 15 of them that sprouted from the seeds we put in there, and that's a lot for cherry tomatoes. So I'm about to go transplant these ones in the garden. So I'll be planting my Tamarillo in here right now. So let me just harvest these ones first before I do that. These ones are good, well hardened. Look at that. They're now thick and not too long. They're steady, they're stable. So that's how you know it's ready to go into the farm. And they're looking really healthy. This is just a container that I'm using to start my seeds from, and it's working perfectly. I also had these flowers, the cuttings, and I wanted to give them a chance to develop good roots before I move them to the flower bed. They're doing an amazing job. I think it's because of the rain, which makes me think I should actually... Oh, there's a doo-doo. But look at that color. This thing has been on my bucket list for the longest time, and I have all three colors. I don't know if there's more I'm missing. I will want to have more colors of the same. So there's this detail. I'm telling you, nature at its best. Look at that. And then there's also this detail, and it has these little pink flowers, purple rather, flowers. But there's also another one. Let me show you. Right here. Oh, the glorious beauty. It's different, right? The design is kind of the same, but different variations of colors. Amazing. Nowadays, it's kind of raining all throughout the afternoon and the nights. Even right now, it's about to start raining. So, watering these ones is not a big thing for us. There's also coriander in some of these other pots, but right now I want to put into this little, it's not a bed, but my makeshift container. I want to start my seeds for Tamarillo in here. So let me get the cherry tomatoes out first. Oh, so this is the doo-doo that was eating the flowers. Remember? The one I showed you right here. I found the culprit. It's right here, having a feast on the leaves. Found you. There we have our seedlings. And now I'll reuse this one. In here we have a little bit of sand mixed with soil and compost. Sand because of drainage. I have little holes on the lower part of this container to help with drainage, but I've come to realize that if you put a little bit of sand in here, the drainage is better. If you don't, then there's going to be waterlogging and the roots will obviously rot. So I'm just giving this a shake, a little bit of shake, changamke, before we go in with the seeds. I'm trying to get these out of the paper towel, and they look like the seeds for tomatoes, only that they have this deep red color. So this is what I'm going to go in to the container with, and then of course it will the countdown will start. Now in goes the little seeds, and now I'll just have to cover lightly with this same soil. It's already a good mixture of compost and sand and soil, so I won't have to add more chemical fertilizers. This is fully organic. It's rich soil. There we go. The countdown begins now. For accountability purposes, today is on the 7th of April 2026. Let's see how long they take to grow, to sprout. I had also started a hibiscus plant from seed, and it's right here. Funny thing, the hibiscus looks like green. The leaves are green when, this is the one that we drink. It looks green when young, but as it grows, it turns more purple, maroon purple. So I'll take this to the garden as well. There's already some of them. This one was too young when I was transplanting, but apparently it's almost starting to give us flowers, because I think it was limited in its growth by all this foliage. So I'm going to give it more space to thrive as I go to transplant my tomatoes. Do you know, I actually used just I had a cherry tomato, just a single cherry tomato uh, that I didn't even dry. I just squeezed it into this space and it gave me, this is like 15 of them. If they thrive, they form a bush, a really big bush. And I'm tending to prefer things that are kind of perennial or semi-annual, because then you don't have to do a lot of manual labor for you to enjoy food from your garden. So these are better, but of course I'll still go with the usual ones, the other varieties of tomatoes, because they're bigger, but these ones are better for salads and for even cooking, and they're really sweet even for eating raw, and they're really beautiful as well. So while I'm at it, I'm going to also transplant these ones because right now it rains a lot. Oh, it already took root. Oh, it's funny how easy it is to propagate stuff. Do you see? We have roots on this lower side, which means this thing can crawl and spread all over. And right now I'm trying to like get the thing out. I'm really using a lot of force, but it's not coming out, which means it has a lot of roots anchored down there. And you know, it's not even been here for long. Oh, even this one. No, I'll just have to come with something to help me scope them later on. So I also have coriander growing in these other pots, and it's already sprouting. The thing with this coriander is once it's ready, I just like cut the upper parts and then I let the others to like resprout. So that makes them go a longer way instead of just plucking them by the roots. Here goes the hibiscus. I've just planted the sister here. These are actually sisters, or is it? I think it's sisters, not brothers, because the seeds were pushed into the ground at the same time, but this one delayed, and it's now that I'm putting it into the ground. But the other one is already giving us. I think you can relate better with this, and I'm planning on using the seeds to multiply the hibiscus and have a lot of them because they're really full of health benefits. So this is how the leaves turn. See what I was telling you? This is more green, but as the tree matures, it takes the like some purple shades on the leaves. I love that it grows and grows. It doesn't die off with one harvest. So that's gonna be good for me. More in there. This is the beans section, and I had planted a few more in there. There's one there, another one there, another one, and I have like 5 of them.